Last summer, I went to a country concert with my sister. The country concert was at Put-in-Bay. We took the ferry to the island. We saw Hardy and Ernest. It was so much fun because I love country music. My favorite artist was Ernest.
Okay, so overall I spent 15 minutes max creating my folder for Prologue2Go. I found that it was very easy to create the folder. What made it easy was the step-by-step instructions and just it was almost laid out for you within the app itself. I thought it was very user-friendly. What was hard about it was, I guess the hard part was just figuring out for the first time, but the steps were really easy and everything was so accessible. And that's what I like about the app too, is just how accessible it is for the user and how user-friendly it is. I also like the variety of icons that you can pick from for each word. I thought that was very, very nice for the user to kind of personalize what they want to say in words that may not be very personalizable. What was hard or easy, or how hard or easy was it to use the app to share something about yourself? I found it very easy to find folder, and I think that anybody could just create multiple folders about different experiences that they had, and I thought it was very easy to do, and it did not take much time at all to do it. And I just found, again, it just being very easy for somebody to share something about themselves. And that was very evident in this project. What cool or interesting things did you learn about high-tech AAC through this experience? I found it very interesting to see how transferable, like the material that we're learning in class, can be applied to the actual device itself. It was very cool to see and use the device like in my own hand. It was also interesting to see like what's the word? Like the layover almost, like with my clinical application compared to kind of to see how it is to use in my clinical experience and using it by myself to create my own experience myself. It really put me in like my client's shoes. But other than that, I thought it was very cool and interesting that you could use different icons for different words. I thought I liked the variety that Prologue2Go had. If I encoded messages, why did I do that? I did encode messages. I encoded one sentence saying that I saw me and my sister saw Hardy and Ernest at the country concert. My rationale behind that was that I didn't think Hardy and Ernest were very specific to that event. And if I made a button, I just did not see myself using buttons with Hardy and Ernest as much as like other words. And I wanted to experience what it was like to create a phrase and creating words. So that was kind of my rationale behind it. And the pros and cons of encoding as compared to using separate buttons to generate a sentence. The pros is that it's one click of a button and you can say an entire sentence at once. I think that's a big pro with the AAC, considering that AAC can take some time if you don't know where buttons are located. I also think that it's a pro to the extent of you can use multiple words that are not in common, like everyday vocab for you. And I think it's easy just to see that it's all in one button rather than having multiple buttons of words that you don't use that often. Some cons of encoding is maybe not like the repetition and getting practice of having like different words and or like going through the words that you do use all the time. Another con may be that let's see. My mind just went blank for a second. Oh, I can see a con of like, you don't, let's see, like hearty and earnest are so specific of words that, yes, I use them for that sentence, but what if I want to say those words in other sentences? If I have it in a phrase and not in a single word, it would be very hard for me to express those individual and very specific words in other sentences if I need, and I would have to type it out. And I think that would be a con. And I would say, when would that not be a good idea? I think it'd be a not great idea if you plan on using it in any other sort of sentence. Because if you do that, then maybe like you would just have to type it out all of the time, and that would be very time consuming, and it could be frustrating for you. And yeah, I can see the pros and the cons of when it is a good idea and when it's really useful and when it may not be the best idea. But yeah.